Hello Aquarius, Karo here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome. End of June, towards July reading. So let's see what is in store for you. Now we are going to first get our first row, then the second and the third. I'm using the Morgan Greener Tarot. I have already shuffled and meditated on the cards, so here we go. The first message is the Tower. The second message is the Eight of Cups. We have the Lovers. The second row is starts with the Moon. We have the Fool, Six of Pentacles, Star. Oh my God, lots of majors. Hierophant, what's happening? A major month for you. We have the King of Swords. Okay, now let's clarify some cards here. First, I want to clarify your central energy, which is the Fool. The Fool is clarified by La Conversazione, Deliranti, and Consolante Sorpresa. The Hierophant here in the third row is clarified by La Superbia, Dottore, and also La Lettera. I want to go ahead and clarify the Lovers here in the first row. The Lovers has stanza, Il Vedevo, and Ammalato. I want to also clarify the King of Swords in the end. Mercante, Speranza, Morte. Wow. Okay, let's get the cards here. Okay, Aquarius, so this feels like some chapter is ending in your life. I think end of June is asking you to really make some serious changes with your life, with the choices, because so much turning points are given. So this means that you will have some choices to make there. I see at the center there is a conversation happening. In this conversation, they go over things again and again and again. And there is uncertainty and maybe some emotional chaos in this. Maybe yourself, you are imagining some 10 different scenarios for this thing. But then something unexpected happens. I think the Fool is the consolante sorpresa here. Something unexpected happens, and this is something you don't expect, and it is really completely changing your perspective. I have to say, you have like spent so much thinking, and like the unexpected thing is like finally pushing you into the action. If this happens usually like when we analyze something almost like to the death, that usually some movement happens afterwards. At least in this reading, I mean, the Fool doesn't feel to me like you are being naive about a particular subject. I think this is your liberation after some mental exhaustion, and it comes from the Tower, Eight of Cups, the Lovers energy here, which is quite brutal, to be frank, because it starts with the collapse and you walk away, and then you have to define a relationship, or you have to define the choice there. This to me feels to me like a bit hurting. I don't know, but if you have a like a private time with someone together, um, one of you has been living some kind of emotional isolation, um, and then I mean, there was some withdrawal. Maybe someone is becoming sick here in your life, like their life becomes like a norm being the solitude. So this situation starting to drain the other person, I feel. I don't think that two people are here running towards each other, actually. I see one person draining the other. So actually, which is emptying the other person. So I feel um, this is a relationship that has been emotionally empty for long enough time. Um, and the one person maybe do not cannot pretend anymore that they are okay. Um, so I don't think that there is some love arriving here. I think you are living the version of love that you were trying to survive inside. So there is a huge difference there, ultimately. And I see your confusion, and I see your trying to take a leap. Then there is some negotiations, some exchanges maybe happening. Um, so your leap is definitely very important because it's the central energy telling me that you are not accepting the old arrangement from now on, um, and you are more into different kind of arrangements from now on in life. You are no longer in your previous arrangement. I see here authority. I see how hope actually becomes hierophant structure. Then the structure becomes decision. Uh, I think someone's pride here, La Superbia, meets with a wisdom. So there is a lot of humbling experience here because they give information, maybe advice, maybe some documentation, maybe a message comes, and like some reality is like catching up with some truth there. Um, this happens when you think you know all the answers, but actually at that point, some answers come. You may receive information which can really change your understanding. Uh, and then someone here is like really seeking guidance, like maybe after resisting it. So, I mean, in either way, the knowledge and the information really becomes important. And I think you are looking for some opportunities and you are trying to make something work there, or you try to negotiate. You may also want to create a future, but your future, it's like it needs, I mean, it requires ending something first, which is not a failure. Um, like you are coming to a point where you believe you cannot build the next chapter while you try to, let's say, protect the previous one or those previous arrangements. Here is like your second assurance for that. King of Swords energy becomes to me very final and frankly very clean and rational. This one does not have an emotional tone, but it has more of like a necessary tone. So to me, the tower, the moon, and the star, I feel if something is falls apart this end of June, and if you feel everything becomes uncertain, please remember that the hope will return in some shape and form. And to me, I'm seeing you surviving a life transition. As you walk away, you start over and you begin a new, I think, life philosophy. You begin a new chapter. You get a lot of wisdom and like some complete transformation. I see also some educational things. Educational things also humbles the ego. This is sometimes you discover what you really don't know, and being open for learning. And you come to this point with some real decision. Um, and with this person, maybe the exchange no longer feels equal to you, and someone is really deciding where they stand from now on. Um, like you are really defining things in your life. So, yes, we are. Um, some Mercury retrograde is about to happen too, and there can be a lot of maybe influence coming to your life due to that. But retrogrades does not mean we re-begin the old things. It is actually making us to see why the old sometimes doesn't work, and why the old story actually ended. So it's like making it like a living example. And I think you were long before emotionally disconnected from this situation. I mean, and then like you are physically leaving it. This is really a breaking point arriving, or that has already arrived. And whatever this connection was once, I think you're gonna witness it's really becoming very difficult to sustain. Um, the movement is there, like overthinking a confusion, but then finding a new arrangement is really something. And sometimes we think we build things, but we are given chances to build something wiser, which is actually gonna humble us down. So you are not losing anything, you are winning. And if your emotions were postponing some decisions, King of Swords is here to make that for you, to help to make that decision, and it's going to be very clearer than what you were trying to do at the beginning. You are also here, I see, very in a very animated way. You are also negotiating with your new chapter, how this new chapter will be really shaped. Yes, life maybe is not gonna become easier, but it's gonna be more clearer. It's gonna be more clear. It's gonna be more understandable. It's gonna um, feel new. And you stop negotiating with the old. You start to negotiate with the new. That's also what I feel. A Gemini person, Pisces, Cancer person, Taurus person can be influential in your life. I also see if you have been through a very difficult situation and you turn to a relationship, a privately shared relationship. I don't know, maybe this person has lost their previous partner. So maybe and that was something maybe later, early, doesn't mean, but someone is not really emotionally available, I feel. And being so long private with them and having to leave something in private maybe is also something making you look for different definitions. But then you are done with the overthinking and definitions, and you want to go for a new arrangement from now on. But I see you are really cannot sustain something old long time. New Hope here really wants to settle in with some quality wisdom. Okay, like if Amalato he is here, this is the sick person, right? And the Dottore, the who is curing it also here. So the Hierophant is the Dottore. There is a helpful wisdom. And yeah, it can feel conventional, but it can work. Aquarius also, the ruler of the Aquarius is also Saturn, don't forget. The difference is it's more of like a system. So yeah, I think you are going to make a new system, and I think there is a maybe a air sign who are telling you, what you can be hopeful about. Like if something can be really saved, you would know it, but you know what cannot be saved and what really you need to be hopeful about. So this is also gonna, I think, give you the new perspective. Yeah, this is what I have for you. Thank you so much for joining me, Aquarius. I will speak to you in the next readings. If you have personal tarot questions, you can join me in my live streams to ask them. If you don't know how those work, please check the description box below to see how we operate, and speak to you soon. Bye bye.